Chagan loved his job. He cleaned aeroplanes, big ones. He took pride in making sure every inch of the aircraft was spotless. The gleaming exterior and the pristine interior were a testament to his hard work and dedication. With lots of seats and windows, each seat had to be perfect, each window clear. He knew passengers appreciated a clean plane. One day he was cleaning when something shiny caught his eye. It was unusual to find something so bright and intriguing. It was under a seat, a book, but not just any book. It seemed special. And not just any book. This one had a certain allure to it. This book had a big shiny aeroplane on it. Chagan opened the book. The cover sparkled as if it held secrets waiting to be discovered. The title made his heart beat faster. He could hardly believe his eyes. How to fly an aeroplane. Part 1. Fly. Could this be real? He could fly an aeroplane. Chagan started to read. His mind raced with possibilities. The words looked like magic spells. He smiled. Each sentence seemed to unlock a new mystery. Maybe, just maybe, he could fly. Chagan turned the pages. His excitement grew with every turn. Each page had a picture and some words. They were simple instructions, yet they felt profound. Step 1, press the red button. Chagan looked around. There it was, the first step to his dream. A big, shiny, red button. His hand trembled as he reached for it, filled with anticipation and hope. Chagan felt like a superhero. He had always dreamed of flying, and today that dream was coming true. The excitement bubbled inside him like a fizzy drink ready to burst. He took a deep breath and slammed his hand on the red button. It was a moment of pure adrenaline, his heart racing as he anticipated what would happen next. The aeroplane's lights flickered. Then they came on. The cockpit was now alive with lights and sounds, making Chagan feel like he was in the heart of an adventure. Chagan laughed. It was working. The thrill of seeing everything come to life was exhilarating. He felt a rush of joy and accomplishment. He was doing it. He was flying an aeroplane. The controls felt natural in his hands, as if he was born to do this. He quickly turned the page. Step 2. Pull the funny-looking lever. The instructions were clear, but the lever looked odd. Chagan saw a lever that looked like a giant toothbrush. It was strange, but he trusted the manual. He pulled it. The plane started to shake. The vibrations made him giggle with excitement. It was like being on a thrilling ride. Chagan giggled. This was so much fun. He couldn't believe how much he was enjoying himself. Step 3. Push the steering wheel forward, the book said. The next step seemed simple enough, but it required all his strength. Chagan held onto the steering wheel. It was bigger than him. The size of it made him feel like a tiny pilot in a giant machine. He pushed with all his might. The aeroplane started to move. The sensation of the plane rolling forward was incredible. "I'm doing it!" he shouted. "I'm really flying!" His voice echoed in the cockpit, filled with pure joy and disbelief at his own achievement. The plane was speeding down the runway, its engines roaring like a mighty beast ready to take flight. Chagan felt like he was on a giant roller coaster, his heart pounding with excitement and a hint of fear. He closed his eyes and held on tight, gripping the armrests as if his life depended on it. Suddenly the plane wasn't on the ground anymore. It lifted off smoothly, defying gravity. It was in the air, soaring higher and higher, piercing through the clouds. Chagan peeked out the window. Everything looked tiny. The world below seemed like a miniature model. The cars looked like ants, moving in slow motion on the tiny roads. And the houses looked like Lego blocks, perfectly arranged in neat little rows. Chagan laughed. He was flying. He was actually flying an aeroplane. The feeling was surreal, like a dream come true. Chagan flew the plane over the city, marveling at the sprawling landscape below. He waved at the birds who seemed to be his companions in the sky. He did a loop-the-loop just like he had seen in the movies. The thrill was indescribable. "This is the best day of my life," he shouted, his voice echoing with pure joy and exhilaration. But then Chagan realized something. He had no idea how to land the plane. He flipped through the book. He looked at every page, but there was nothing about landing, nothing at all. Then he saw it. On the last page, in small letters, it said, "To learn how to land, please refer to How to Fly an Aeroplane, Part 2. Part 2? Chagan groaned. He had only found Part 1. Chagan learned a very important lesson that day. Always read the whole book, especially if you're flying an aeroplane.